across the South Coast, live from Solent University. You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock. I'm Jamie Somerville, and these are your Solent Sports News headlines. Could there be some more FA Cup magic at Eastleigh this weekend? The Spitfires host Southend United on Saturday in the fourth qualifying round of the Cup.
We got a tough draw against Southend. That wouldn't have been one that I don't think anyone would have been looking for.
That was Matthew Gibbs, the head of media at Eastleigh FC.
Because they're a sort of tough side that we lost to only a few weeks ago. But I'm positive going into it. Hopefully we can give them a game at the very least and try and get something from it and then push on from there.
Last season, Eastleigh saw off Reading and took League Two side Newport County to a replay. In more Hampshire-based football news, bragging rights will be on the line this Sunday as Saints face Portsmouth in the Women's Championship. Portsmouth are yet to take a point this season and sit rooted to the bottom of the table. Pompey boss Jay Sadler wants this to be the turning point of their season.
And at that point, obviously, Southampton, full-time team then, and we were transitioning to become that, obviously, over the summer. But in that game, I felt we were a match. And at times, we looked really on top of that game. But ultimately, for us, yes, there's a score to settle, and it's a derby game. And ultimately, all the cliches of the form goes out the window. It's ultimately who wants it, heart and desire. But you also have to have quality to win these types of games.
Chelsea have enjoyed double award success for their September. Enzo Maresca won the Premier League Manager of the Month trophy after his side went unbeaten for the month. Cole Palmer scored 5 goals across those 4 games to take home the Player of the Month award. To discuss this, I'm joined by Chelsea journalist Thomas Wallace. How big is this for Chelsea this week?
Shows a bit more of how good a start to the season it's been for Chelsea. The positive signs are definitely there. Since Enzo Maresca's come in the last month, they beat Bournemouth, West Ham. They also beat Brighton at the end of the month, with Cole Palmer producing a historic 4-goal haul. It comes after last season they finished in 6th, and now they're firmly placed in the top 4. Looking ahead for positive signs, I imagine.
And talking about Enzo Maresca as a manager, how well do you think he's dealt with the squad troubles they've got at the moment?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of doubts about him at the start of the season, especially with the Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell situations where they were kind of left in limbo. But you'd have to say he's really done well with the squad that he does have at his disposal. And players like Palmer, Caicedo and Jackson are really thriving in his system.
Thank you very much, Tom. Sunderland forward Aaron Connolly has revealed that he's had professional help after struggling with alcohol addiction. The Republic of Ireland international burst onto the scene as a teenager at Brighton, scoring twice on his first Premier League start against Tottenham. Connolly told Sky Sports News things went downhill from there.
I used to look forward to the games finishing so I could have time to go and have a drink. When your parents are calling you, you're not answering calls because you know you're breaking the heart. It's time to realise that I've got a problem.
Former England midfielder Lee Hendry says Lee Carsley is protecting himself by saying that he doesn't expect to be the country's next full-time manager. He's in interim charge while the FA considers a permanent successor for Gareth Southgate. After a 2-1 shock defeat to Greece at Wembley in the Nations League, Carsley says he thinks he'll be back with the under-21 side soon.
This is his trial. There's no doubt about that. You know, let's be honest. It wasn't great last night. He knows that. The players know that. Listen, if he's been given an opportunity to take the job, I'm pretty sure that Lee Carsley will want it.
And finally in boxing, Conor Benn has shoved Chris Eubank Jr. and called him a dead boy walking after the 2 boxers crossed paths in Saudi Arabia. The pair were due to fight 2 years ago, but it was cancelled when Ben failed 2 drugs tests. That's all from us for now. I'll be back at 3.